What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Yujide, and if it's your first time stopping by, you are most definitely welcome. So guys, today I'm going to show you guys how I made this beautiful Kampala or Adire camo pants. So guys, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So guys, this is the material I'm going to be using. This is Adire Kampala. I got this for, is it 2,200, and I think this is about 4.5 yards. So yeah, so guys, I'm just going to open this up now so we can get started. So as you can see, I've gone ahead to open it up. So what I'm going to do next, so guys, the first thing we're going to cut is the front pattern, and this is on fold. So guys, from the center front, I'm going to mark 1 inch all the way to the full length of my trouser. So guys, this 1 inch is sewing allowance for the front, and don't forget this is on fold. And guys, don't forget that this is going to have an elastic on the waist. There's no zipper. So this is my elastic allowance. You can see 3 inches from the top of from the beginning of my material, 2.5 inches for the elastic and ½ inch for sewing allowance. So guys, I'm going to start taking all my measurements from the end of this elastic line. So guys, the first thing I'm going to take is my hip line, which is 8 inches, then my crotch line, which is 12 inches. So how you can get your crotch, sit on the table and measure from your waist to the top of that table. So that is going to be your crotch. So as you can see, I'm just extending my lines. I have my waist, my hip line and my crotch line, and as you can see, I'm labeling them right now. So guys, the next thing to do is to mark a quarter of my hip circumference on my hip line. That is 10. I'm also going to mark this on the waistline and also on the crotch line. Remember that the waist, there's no zipper. It's going to be an elastic waist. So guys, I'll connect the 3 measurements together like so. Then the next thing, I'll come to my crotch line and mark 2 inches starting from the hip line I marked earlier. So this is going to be my crotch extension. And as you can see, I'm using my curve rule to connect that extension back to the hip line. So guys, if your hip circumference is more than 40 inches, if it's like 42 inches and above, make use of a crotch extension of 2.5 inches instead of 2 inches. So guys, from that crotch extension, you can see this is a flared trouser. So I'm just freestyling this and connecting this to the end of to the full length of my trouser. So this is very simple to do. You don't need any measurement because it is not a fitted trouser. So you can see the full length of my trouser, 40 inches, and I'm going to add 3 inches as my folding or hemming allowance. Yeah, so guys, we are basically done with the front pattern, and I'm going to cut this out. So guys, I forgot to mention, when you're folding your material for your front pattern, make sure to fold enough material that is going to be enough to cut out your for your crotch. You know what I'm talking about. You don't want to have shortage of material. Yeah, so guys, I'm basically going to use these front patterns to cut out the back patterns also. It's basically the same thing. The only difference is there's going to be enough allowance on the back pattern because this is a free trouser, right? It's not a fitted pants. So guys, I'm just folding another material for the back pattern. So what I'm going to do is to place the front pattern that I've cut on the back pattern. So guys, before cutting the back pattern, what I'm going to do is to add 2 inches all through. And as you can see, I'm adding these 2 inches to the crotch part. So that is the part you want to use. Add 2 inches all around. Make sure it is 2 inches. I'm going to do the same thing to the crotch parts. Add 2 inches to that, and I'm going to add this to all round this pattern. Yes, so it's as simple as that. So guys, don't forget, please, if your hip circumference is more than 40 inches, your crotch extension should be like 2.5 inches, not 2 inches. So that area, that crotch area is not very tight for you. Yeah, so guys, as you can see, I'm just basically connecting the 2 inches allowance I'm leaving on the back pattern. Yeah, so like I said, this 2 inches is just for to make the pant free and also sewing allowance for the back pattern also. So yeah, that's basically it. I don't think I mentioned that this is very, very simple to make. if you've been sewing trousers before, then this is not, going to be new or strange to you. So yeah, that is basically it. I'm done cutting the front and the back pattern. So guys, the next thing is to split the, or slit rather, the other part, that part facing me that is folded. I'm gonna have to slit it for both fronts and back. So guys, the next thing is to sew this crotch area by 1/2 inch. I'm going to do the same thing for the back pattern. This is the front pattern. So yeah guys, this is it. This is the front pattern. I'm gonna have to sew the middle. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm just going to mark that 3 inches for my elastic line. I want to know where my elastic line is going to stop. So guys, I'm going to take this to the ironing table. I'm going to fold this in and iron it down so it can be very easy for me when I'm sewing. Just iron that elastic parts out so you know what you're working with. So you can see I'm doing the same thing for the back pattern. Just fold it, iron it, yeah, so you can know what you're working with. So guys, the next thing we are going to work on now is the pocket. Yeah, the inner pocket. It's going to be at the top of this trouser. So what I'm basically going to do is just to measure the length. So this is 8 inches here, and on this other part, the wideness, I measured 5 inches. So I'm going to just mark like a D shape, to meet that 5 inches above and connect back to the 8 inches I marked below here. So guys, this is very simple to do. It's not anything technical. Just make mark of what you think is going to be enough for you, how deep you want your pocket to be. If you want it to be very deep, you have to use more than 8 inches. You can use about 12 inches. Yeah, so that is for one pattern. I'm going to cut out 2 more, so I would basically have 4 pieces at the end of the day. 2 pieces for the front pattern, then 2 pieces for the back pattern. So guys, the next thing is to fix this pocket on the material. Sorry for that part that it was blurry. I didn't know my camera was acting like that, my phone camera, of course. So yeah guys, this is it. You can see I'm gonna head to iron this down. You can see what it's giving me. Yeah, so it won't be stressful for me when I'm sewing. So guys, before you add your pocket, from where that elastic is going to stop, mark 1 inch. You can see, so this is where my pocket is going to stop at. So guys, make sure that the right side is facing the right side. You can see what I'm doing. Then the wrong side is what is facing us right now. The wrong side is what you are looking at for the pocket and also for the for the material itself. So, and I'm going to take this to the sewing machine now and sew this down by 1/2 inch. I'll repeat the same thing for this other side. Mark 1 inch below the elastic line and place the pocket. You can see wrong side is facing wrong side, right side is facing right side. So I'm using my office pins to hold this down, just to assist me, and I'm going to sew this down by 1/2 inch. I'll repeat the same process for the back pattern. Yeah, I think this is the front pattern, so just repeat the same thing for the other pattern. So guys, I'm basically done. This is what it looks like. I think this is the front pattern. I've added my pocket here. So what I'm going to do now is to place the other pattern on it so we can join both parts together. So yeah, so I'll just make sure to arrange them on each other. So guys, you will note that the back pattern is bigger than the front pattern. That is very, very normal. For your pants, your back pattern should be bigger than the front. So yeah, so guys, the next thing I'm going to do now is to start sewing. So guys, please, before you sew, make sure to open up this elastic casing. You want to open it up, remember that, so that when you're passing in your elastic, you won't have any issue when you get to this waist part. So open it up then before you start sewing. So you can see the chalk line. That is where my thread is going to be going on till I get to the end of my pants. So I'll repeat the same thing for the other side. Just sew this down by 1 inch or 1/2 inch, depending on your preference. So I'll repeat the same thing for the other side. And like I said, I'm going to open up this elastic casing I've made. I'm not going to sew it like this, so I'll open it up first, then I'll sew down by 1/2 inch or 1 inch. Yeah, so guys, this is it. You can see this is what it looks like. Yes, so you can see that this is very simple to do. There's nothing technical about it. So guys, the next thing I'm doing, you can see, is just notching those pocket areas, so they can be very relaxed when I turn it to the other side. So yeah guys, the next thing now is to attach the side pockets. So what I'm going to do, this is the side. Yeah, this is the side. So guys, the side where you can see the pocket. So guys, from the waist, I'm going to just come down and mark 15 inches. That is where I want my pocket to start from, the side pocket. So from the waist, come down, mark 15 inches. If you want your pocket to be higher, come up, you can use 13 inches. And if you want it lower, you also know what to do. So I'll repeat the same thing for the other side. From the waist, I'll come down by 15 inches, and chalk that area, so I'll know where to place my pocket when I'm done making my pocket. So guys, let's make our pocket. So guys, the pocket length, you can see at this point you have to be very creative, so your pants can come out very beautiful. So guys, the pocket length is 11 inches and the wideness is 10 inches, almost like a square. So I'm just going to cut this out. So what I mean by creative, you want to use different colorful materials, so your trouser can be colorful. So guys, I'm gonna have to cut another piece, another material, using the first one that I cut. So I'm just notching the ends of my pocket, just notching the middle. Yeah, so remember I'm going to be placing this at the two sides. You can see length 11, wideness 10 inches. So guys, why I notch that part is so I can identify the middle, and you want to make sure you place that notched part on the middle line of your trouser or your pants rather. So before I sew this down, I'm going to take this to the sewing machine first to sew down the edges. I'm going to show you what I mean in a bit. So guys, this is very simple to do. This is going to be folded like this, and I'm going to sew this down. Yes, that's the bottom, the end of the side pocket. Then I'll also fold in the sides and the other side. So guys, to make this easier for you, can go ahead to fold the three sides first, iron it down, so it can be very easy for you when you are sewing. But before I sew down, like I said, I'm going to take this to the sewing machine to hem the edge, that part that is not going to be sewn, this part here. I'm going to fold this twice and sew this down. Yeah, so guys, I'll repeat the same thing for the other pocket, that's black and white exo material. So let's go ahead to sew this down first. So here it is guys, I'm gonna head to sew down the edge, then now the next thing is to sew down the bottom part of my trouser, the bottom part of my pocket, and also the sides. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just folding it in. So you can just go ahead to iron it also, so it won't give you stress when you're about to sew. So guys, I'll repeat this same entire process of pockets for the other parts. So here it is guys, I'm gonna head to attach my pockets. You can see it's looking very beautiful already. I've done the same thing for the other side. So guys, the next thing now is to add our pocket flap, that cover. So like I said again, you want to be creative, use different colorful materials. Yeah, so guys, before we do that, make sure to mark about 1 inch above the pocket you've just sewn. That is where your pocket cover or your pocket flap is going to sit on, right? So guys, for this, make sure to mark the length of what you have here. You can see I have about 8.5 inches here. This will help me determine the length of the pocket flap I'm about to cut. So guys, this is 8.5 inches. Just add like 1 inch seam allowance, so like 9.5 inch. But what I cut here is like 10 inches, and the wideness is 5 inches. Yes, wideness 5 inches, length 10.5 inches. So I can just have enough to turn with. So guys, I'm going to cut this out now, and I'm going to cut out 2 of this, remember, for the 2 pockets. So this is going to be folded at the end of the day. So yeah, what I'll do now, you can see this is the second part. What I'll do now is take it to the sewing machine and sew down the sides. I'll repeat the same thing for this other yellow and black material. It's going to be folded like this, and I'll sew down the sides. Yes, so guys, this is it. I'm done. This is what it looks like, and I'm gonna add to turn them You can see what they look like. Once you're done, go ahead to turn them to the, to the right side. So now guys, the next thing now is to place the pocket covers on the line I made earlier, the mark I made earlier, and I'll just sew this down by 1/2 inch. Guys, you can see that this is very simple to do, right? Yes, so I'll repeat the same thing for the other side. Just sew down by 1/2 inch. So guys, after I sew down the pocket flap, the next thing now is to sew down the crotch. Remember that we've not sewn the crotch. The only part we sew, is it so? Were the sides, right? So I didn't sew down the crotch, so it would enable me fixing the pocket, the side pocket. So guys, this is it. I'm gonna add to sew the crotch area. So you can see it looking very beautiful already. We are almost done with this tutorial. So guys, one thing I want to add for this pocket cover, please, when you are done, make sure to put hemming gum here and sew this down. If not, your pocket will be flying. So for me, what I did was I top stitched the top of that. You can see here I ran my machine on it so it could lay flat like that. So guys, the next thing we're going to work on is the elastic. But before I fix the elastic, I'm going to sew down. That's why it's important for you to iron that part. And I won't sew this all through. You can see that part that is chalked. I'm not going to sew that part, so I can pass my elastic through that part. So yeah guys, I've actually gone to sew down. You can see that my elastic casing or elastic allowance. So guys, my waist is 28. I'm going to subtract 6 inches from that, and for this my elastic I went ahead to cut 22 inches. So guys, the next thing now is, you can see I'm using my safety pin to pass in my elastic through that hole I left earlier when I was sewing the elastic casing. Yeah, so guys, just subtract 6 inches from your waist and use the remainder, whatever you get, to cut your elastic length. And as you can see, I'm using fat elastic, guys, not the slim one. Yeah, so guys, this is it. When I'm done, I'm just going to make sure to arrange my elastic well. You don't want it turning inside the elastic casing. And what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and sew this down. I'll double stitch, triple stitch, so it can be very strong. Yeah, so, and I'll just push this in and still arrange it well, and go ahead to cover that part that's open. I'll just go ahead to sew this down. Then the next thing now is also to sew down the hem. Remember I left like 3 inches as my hemming allowance. So guys, so this is the finished look. Please, if you have any questions for me, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section down below. Also, please don't forget to like this video and also subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. I'm going to see you all in the next video. Okay, bye guys.